All right, what's up?
Yo, John, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for the last call, and yeah. um, so my question is sort of so you know how you were talking about leaps of faith in literally the previous question.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Um, what I wanted to know is see, one of the problems that I have is making decisions. Um, actually, in general, like one of the things, one of my problems is the fact that I question myself a lot, and I question me making this decision, making that decision, and in a way, I'm kind of like thinking whenever I'm like deciding something and I plan something out, I'm just like thinking, oh, like yeah, but I'm not sure if this is going to work out because it's kind of like because I'm the one coming up with the idea. Like because I'm kind of a bit insecure when it comes to how like how's Mayim or something, and I'm just like thinking like if I was in a way I'm kind of like thinking like man, if I was like a smart person, would I have come up with with this idea or something? And I'm not sure if my question is coming out clearly.
I think I get where you're going with this.
um, and it's like so, and it's like one of like a lot of the times like I don't act on the things I plan to do. So you know when you said you got the whole planner and worker.
Yeah,
I plan the stuff, but then like when it comes to working on it, I'm just like in a way I guess I don't really trust the process.
right, exactly. Yeah.
Especially because it's the process that I can. And it's especially because like it's the process that I came up with, and I'm like, I always thought like in a weird way, even though this seems really like unrealistic, I always think like smart people like when they make a decision, they feel like relatively confident and certain about the decisions because I just graduated from university, so like, and I've studied maths, and like in maths, it's like usually when I answer a question,
Yeah,
I
you know.
know what the answer is going to be, or I feel confident that if I'm answering the question right or not. But in like when I'm making decisions in real life, it's like I don't actually know, and
Yeah.
I just like I feel dumb when I just don't when I'm in that situation when I don't actually when I'm uncertain about something. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So there's a few things. There's a book I'd recommend. It's by shoot, I'm spacing it now. It's by a famous poker player, female. It's called
Annie Dukes,
yeah,
Winking in Bets.
that's it. Thinking in Bets. Yep. I'd
I've heard you,
recommend
but
that. Okay.
yeah.
And then what I'll say about this is there's a couple things. So here's probably the most powerful thing that I can say about this is you can't think, will this work? Or can I make this? Will this happen? Like, is this the right decision? You got to think, I'm going to make this work, right? I'm going to make this happen. That's the key. That's the key to really success in life, is because I mean, there's been so many things, right? I mean, I'll just even take like Bulldog Mindset, for instance, right? When I first started Bulldog Mindset, people are like, oh, that's crazy. It's stupid. Like, first of all, why a Bulldog? And then they're like, and then you're going to teach like on finances and fitness and dating stuff. Like, it's too much. Like, people don't want to know how to be a man. Like it's like pick one of those things. And I was like, nah, this is what I want to do. Like, I'm going to make this shit happen. I'm going to make it work. Right. And so all the people that were hating on the idea, that were like, "Oh yeah, you're never gonna do this. You're never gonna grow this up," right? Well, they're running their businesses, their good ideas, right? And they're more have the attitude of, well, let me see if this will work. So they're testing all these things. In the meantime, I'm like, no, I'm gonna make this fucking shit work. And Bulldog Mindset is sitting at 800 members now, and their stuff is I don't know if they're even making any money, right? So but the reason why is because when I had the vision for Bulldog Mindset, I said, this is what I want to birth into the world, and I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make it work, right? And so maybe it would have been a better decision to like say, okay, let's just make this focus on finances, right? And or you know, whatever it is, right? And or to, you know, there's probably better decisions I could have made from a business standpoint, but it doesn't matter because it's what I wanted, and then I decide I'm going to make it work. So you have to really trust yourself and say, well, what is it that you want, right? Now, obviously you have to use your brain, and you got to think about, you know, what makes sense, what's a good decision, right? But a lot of it is unknown, right? We don't know the answer. It's not like a mathematical equation. So we got to like use our best judgment call. And I do this all the time with, you know, I've had so many business failures, like, you know, from everything that I've tried. I've done launches where I've made no money, where it's cost me money, right? I've, you know, I published a book on my other company, Simple Programmer, remote work, and I thought that was going to be great, and it's like no one's buying it, and so, you know, it cost me money, and I'm still working on it. I'm creating the audio version now. I'm going to try and make this thing work. I'm committed to seeing it out. But what I'm saying is that like the overall picture is like, I'm going to make this thing work. I'm going to try these different things. Right. And so the reason why we fail in life is because of if one of two things: we either lack knowledge or we lack discipline. And the only way to figure that out is to actually fail, because you can't know, like, ignorance is undetectable. So you can't know what you lack. Like if you knew that you lack knowledge, you would not lack the knowledge. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can't know that. And you also can't know that you lack discipline, because the only way to find out you lack discipline is to go and try a thing and give up and realize that you're just not hard enough yet. You need to harden up. Yeah. So make decisions and trust your judgment and go forward and think in your mind, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make this work, as opposed to, I'm not sure if this is the right decision or not. Right. So, you know, we talk about putting those two hats on. When you put on that manager hat, you decide from the best perspective that you have. All right, this is the work that needs to be done this week. Right. And then when you put on that worker bee hat, you don't question it. You just fucking do the work. And so what? Maybe you're wrong, or maybe you get new. So you just do the work that's laid out for you. And then next week, when you put on the manager hat, then you can fix the mistakes and you can evaluate it and see, right? But you've got to be able to just do the work and stop looking at the goal and stop looking at the finish line and stop checking the competition to see how far people that are running behind you. That none of that stuff matters. You've just got to go forward, and if you keep on doing that, that's when you'll be successful. It's like I said, because otherwise what will happen, it's so much better to just pick one direction and go. Otherwise, if you go down all these different directions, you're never going to get anywhere, right? It's better to choose the suboptimal path. Like there's a lot of things in life that I've done the hard way, but I fucking brute force the fuck out of it the hard way, because I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to force my way into the fucking door, because I could figure out some elegant way to pick the lock. Otherwise I could just fucking keep on bashing on this door until it opens. And that's how I've done a lot of things in life. And it's like, yeah, maybe it was harder and maybe it took longer, but it fucking worked because I know I can do it. And so a lot of times that's what it comes down to, is just make a decision and move forward, instead of worrying about it and going backwards and wasting time. You know, going down the wrong path is not necessarily a bad thing. It's the slow path doesn't hurt you in the long run, right? Not doing anything or going back on your decisions, that's what hurts you more.
I see. And it's like, when you like say, okay, I'm going to make this decision, and no matter what happens, I'm going to make it work. And let's say it didn't end up panning out well. Do you think, like, because if my ultimate goal is to be like a man and stuff, like, do you think it's more masculine, more manly to do that and fail, but like try brute forces anyway and like learn the lesson from it, as opposed to just like, I'm gonna like stay back and calculate the best possible way ever, and like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you make, as a man, one of the key things that really makes you a man in my eyes is internal judgment. Like your judgment, your value system being superior to anything else in your life, right? So I do whatever the fuck that I want to do, right? I decide whether it's good or bad. It doesn't matter. The world can say, "Oh, you failed," and I don't give a fuck. I didn't fail. I choose whether I failed. If I did something and I chose to do it, then that's what I'm the one who decides. Now, there are times where I will come down on myself and I'm like, "Hey, you didn't do what you're supposed to do. Or you didn't do good enough." It doesn't mean that everything I do is fucking that I walk on water. But I am the one who judges myself. No one else judges me, right? And that's the key. That's what it is to be a man. Is to say, hey, none of this fucking shit matters. What I do matters to me, and how I evaluate that. That's what matters. That's
okay.
the.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks for answering my question, man.
Yeah, take care.